All right. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay? All right. Raise your hand if you can hear me. Raise your hand if you can't hear me. Raise your hand if you're one of those people that just never raises their hand. All right. So we are going to talk a little bit, well, a lot. I have about 8 hours of content, so don't worry, settle in. I may have to go a little bit quickly, so if I start talking like this, don't worry about it because you should be able to catch it just fine. And I am not a robot, but we're going to hear from some. So I'm Dennis Wilson, doing business creatively with AI, DBC Technologies. More and more people just say the AI guy, which is fine. I'm okay with that. So we're going to jump right in and hopefully put some people at ease that it's not as scary as you think. So AI is not going to take your job, okay? It's the person who uses AI that's going to take your job. So if you're not using it, you got to start. This is actually a quote from Jensen Huang. He's the president of NVIDIA. He went further in this thing of his. There's a video of him from Entrepreneurs, and he goes further to say that he hopes that his company will eventually become 100% AI. He also said that there is no way they could produce the stuff they produce at this stage without AI. So it's impossible for humans to do what his company does in the graphics card. So now AI is not going to erode your company's market share. Don't worry, you're safe. But the company using AI and selling AI is absolutely going to erode your market share. So this is sort of meant to be a little bit of a wake-up call, a little bit of education to show you that it's not hard, it's not scary. Raise your hand if you're currently using AI in your company. Excellent. And raise your hand if you have no idea what AI is and you're just hoping that I get it over with soon so you can go back to your way. No one wanted to be picked on, huh? Okay. So how can ISVs and VARs benefit the most from using or selling AI? Well, here's some projected spending in retail, and it's rather staggering. The retail industry's AI spending is projected to grow at a compounded annual growth rate of 34.9% from 2021 to 26. So who'd like to have a piece of that? Yeah, right? So I'm going to hopefully share a whole bunch of unique ways that you'll be able to do that. So let's take a look at some of the opportunities. Well, first, some statistics. So retailer adoption, 73% plan to implement AI by 2026. So that means 73% of your customers are already planning to do it. So wouldn't it be better if you were selling it to them? I mean, I think it would. I mean, it's okay if you're happy not selling more stuff and not having more monthly recurring revenue. That's cool. But inventory savings, 20 to 30% cost reduction and 30 to 50% fewer stockouts with the use of AI. Sales increase, 10 to 15% boost through AI personalization. And 48% of consumers spend more when their experience is personalized. And all this stuff was very hard to do before AI. Now it's actually quite easy to do. So they buy more. That's okay. How many people also do merchant services in the room? So it's really not a problem if people buy more, right? That's what I thought. So what's the low-hanging fruit? Well, 80% of businesses plan to use chatbots by 2024. Voice shopping is expected to reach 40 billion in sales by 2022. Anybody doing voice shopping or actually have their ability to have their customers buy stuff by just talking to a robot? Excellent. You're going to love what I have to say later. So what is a chatbot? Well, it's a computer program designed to simulate conversation with human users, especially over the internet. What's an auto attendant? Well, you know how your bank has those things that promise to help you? Or like the telephone companies or the cell phone companies? You know, the ones that all you do is get frustrated and go, stupid robot. Well, that's because it wasn't actually an AI attendant. It's called an auto attendant. It's pre-programmed with a step solution, right? This is not at all what we do. So that's decision tree based. It's not a natural conversation. It's dumb. No, that's not fair. It's only as smart as the people who created it. So the returns are set and they're programmed. And if you get all the way down to here and ask it a question that it needed to be up here, it's lost. It just, I don't know, right? Very difficult to change as well because it is all sort of set up and crafted to follow what you think your customer's going to do. So we don't like those. So what's a website chatbot? Well, this is a little bit different. So this is an example I'm going to play you. So you're not going to hear it talking because this is a text chatbot, okay? I actually got a bad review once because the video didn't work. The video works fine. You can listen to the clickety-clack, but you got to read the screen. That would have already screwed up an auto attendant. Okay, so this type of a chatbot can be set up with about 2 hours of time at a cost of about $50 a month. So if all you did was start adding those to help your customers, you could easily sell it to them for $100 a month and probably $200, $300 up front. And it's simple, right? It's really simple. So the difference is, this is not programmed. This is actually reading a great big blob of data, right? In a higher end use case, it's actually reading your entire knowledge base. Conversations are based upon the trained data, so it doesn't get stuck. When you ask it, what's the latest you're open to, it knows the answer. None of the old-fashioned bots, pretty much nothing built before 6 months ago would actually be able to handle what is the latest you're open. So they're really, really, really good. And it can contextually suggestive sell, right? We did a demo I'm going to do another demo coming up where we actually, it kept wanting to sell a KDS, a kitchen display system, no matter what. And it was because that was deep in the knowledge base, sort of a cardinal rule of this company that you always had to try to sell a KDS. I couldn't figure out how to make it stop trying to sell a darn KDS. So like when it thinks it needs to do it, man, it's going to do it, right? Not like an employee, I just don't feel like saying that today, right? So where do you start? So if you want to get involved in AI and get it into your company, you need to sort of say who's going to be in charge of the learning AI and helping to implement it. Because your programmers, if you have them, they're not going to come willingly. Your marketing people are not going to come willingly because they're all really comfortable where they are and they just, So be careful because who you pick matters. They need to be unbiased. I know, almost impossible, but try. Right? Understanding of AI tools. So hopefully they've played with ChatGPT, they've played with cloud, they've maybe even downloaded some tools for $30 a month and figured out that they could do all that for $20 a month with ChatGPT. But hopefully they've got a bit of understanding. They can't be resistant to change because this is change on a colossal basis. Just so everyone knows, I am recording this and it will become available. So if you don't want to, you don't have to record it, you will get it. And they need to be willing to learn because I tell you, about every 2 months I wake up and we have to start over on our chatbots because the technology's changed to make it cheaper, to make it better, to make it more cool, to make it more functional, to do more things. So how do you know if the person you picked to get involved with ChatGPT and help your company knows what they're doing? And that's even if you're working out with a consultant. So there's a key question where you can instantly know if this person has the ability to actually help you. And that is, you need to ask if they know what chat's temperature is. Anybody know what chat's temperature means? Raise your hand. Okay, one person. So let's do an experiment to sort of illustrate it. Now, this is a restaurant-based experiment because in the morning we need interesting things and hungry people to be thinking about just cool stuff. So if we were to say deluxe pizza, and we were to underclock, like really, really bring the temperature down, what happens is it would come back and if you said, I want you to rewrite this item deluxe pizza to be more cool, and you set the temperature way down to 0.5 from 0.05 from 0.07, it's going to come back with deluxe pizza and classic deluxe pizza. Pretty creative, right? It started with deluxe pizza. Okay, so if we go to temperature 0.1, which is a good temperature, it's going to come back with deluxe supreme pizza or ultimate meat lovers pizza as suggestions on how to rewrite it. Getting a little more interesting, right? We go at 0.5, Chicago's finest deluxe pizza. Gourmet garden veggie pizza. Okay, now if we just make it lose its mind and give it some, really heavily caffeinated drink, 1.5, we're going to overclock it. Don't ever do this. Unless you just want to laugh a bit. Magma Burst Supreme Pizza. Cosmic Carnival Deluxe Pizza. Bit over the top, right? So the weird part about chat is all of that came from ChatGPT. So when your marketing department says, no, it's too crazy, or it's not crazy enough, or it doesn't do me anything, that's not chat's fault. That's your marketing department's fault because they didn't know how to use chat. Now here's where it gets crazy. Temperature equals creativity. But there's also something called max tokens. There's another one called top P density, which is for diversity. Frequency penalty, so it doesn't repeat stuff as much. Presence penalty for new topics. Chat can be whoever, whatever, and however you direct it to be. Legal people are the worst. Oh, no, I tried it. It's never going to work. Well, for legal, you got to really say, stop being creative and just stick to the facts, baby. Right? And they don't. And they're like, well, I didn't put all kinds of stuff that's not required. Well, tell it not to. Right? So prompting is one thing, and prompting's an art. I'm not going to get into that. We would definitely need 8 hours. But these settings are really crazy. You get in there and play with them a little bit. Don't play too much. Now, who knows that ChatGPT hallucinates? Yeah, don't ask it for legal research. It'll give you, case law studies and everything, and you'll go click the links, and they don't exist. It just made it up. Sorry. Actually, some guy lost a lawsuit and lost a whole bunch of money because he did his whole defense in chat. So excited. And then the judge is like, nuh-uh. The judge is like, none of those things exist. Oops. So how do you get AI to work good in your company? So again, it's not going to replace anybody's job. It's going to accent it. Because if you go AI plus human, which means AI goes out, a human says, is this plausible? Does this make sense? Can I make it better? That's going to create happiness. AI alone is definitely going to get you in trouble. Just saying, from experience. So the easiest money savings and sales growth opportunities for VARs and ISVs. So this is where you look at how can you adopt it into your own company to help the person that uses Microsoft Excel, or help the person doing Word, or help the person answer emails. You can do a lot of fully automated stuff. I don't recommend it, to be honest. A lot of the times your customers will at first think it's cool and then eventually get, wait a second, this is starting to sound meh. So always have people involved. Content creation is definitely the easiest way. It doesn't get hungover, it doesn't take holidays, it doesn't get grumpy. It's infinitely creative. It'll accelerate anyone on your team who's in charge of any kind of creative. It'll give them ideas they didn't have. I use it constantly, but I never use it raw. I'm always editing and fixing it to fit my personality. And there's lots of things we can do to make it fit your personality better in training it, but that's a different story. So video scripts, podcasts, TikTok, it'll do all of that. You can literally have it spit out a script, go to something called Pictory.ai, stick the script in, it'll match video segments, line it all up, and you push, boom, you got a 2-minute video that's just 100% done. It'll take you about 9 minutes. Well, okay, 12, because it has to actually make the video. Training programs. We all should have more training, but it's really a pain in the ass to make training programs, right? Oh man, chat is so good at training programs. You just sort of feed it what you have and says, I need a training program that's 4 parts long, blah, 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 blah. You create a prompt, you push go, and next thing you know it, you can have it spit right out a whole PowerPoint presentation ready to go. All you have to do is feed it a theme. Cool, huh? Who knew that? It'll actually export a Word file, it'll export a PowerPoint file, it'll actually give it to you so that, well, it's actually exports a file you can use to import to bring that all up. So, significant savings and earning opportunities with text and voice agents. This is all the thing. I mean, if you search text chatting and AI chatbots right now, you're going to see the statistics are mind-blowing. And if you think your customers won't like them, if you build them wrong, they won't like them, right? If you force them to use them, they won't like them. So, voice agents and chatbots. Sales support. So, you can now have a first line of defense where they phone your company and an AI chatbot will answer all their nuisance questions. everything about sales, support, and you can do that by a text chat. The minute you make a chat bot and put it on your website, you'll actually drop your phone call volume by about 50%. It's just like that. Because your customers actually don't want to call you. They call you because they have no choice, or because you have a knowledge base and they're like, yeah, no. Or they've tried your search tool and yeah, no, right? So they only call you when they can't get their answer quickly. And knowledge bases, they're not quick. Tech support, again, I mean, I put a Epson manual and a star manual together, and I started asking it questions in a knowledge base of that only. And first it told me that I needed the star, or the Epson, and then when I said, but I really want it to be white, it literally did an about face and started selling me on why the feature I really wanted in the Epson, the star has a feature just about as good and it's white. So it literally changed its mind and started to try to push me towards the star as soon as it realized I needed white. That's how crazy they are. And all they did was upload the two manuals into a knowledge base and build a real simple chatbot around it. It was crazy. Telemarketing sales. You can actually do outbound calls. So if you need to follow up with your customers every 6 months and you know you should and nobody ever does, make a bot. You can actually connect that bot. A voice agent can be connected to your CRM to automatically spawn that call and say, hey, I'm just checking on you. I'm from ABC company and I'm just checking to see how you're doing. If you'd like to talk to a human, I can put you through to someone. Or if you'd like me to just update you on what's going on, it can all be done automatically. Just push a button. I liked to push buttons when I was a kid. You know the ones on the escalator? Man, I like pushing them ones. My mom didn't like when I pushed them. Keep in touch announcements, again, as we just said. So what is an AI phone agent? Well, a chatbot is when they go and they talk like you saw a Chihuahua there, right? That's it. And those are really cool. But now we have the ability to actually turn them into a complete telephone solution or a web solution that people actually talk to it instead of having to type. So an AI voice agent is a computer program that simulates spoken conversations with humans using speech recognition, natural language processing, and speech synthesis technology. That's a quote from ChatGPT. An AI agent turns nuisance call into an opportunity. So I'm now going to do a couple of demos of how they are, because what we always find when we're chatting with people is they all have a preconceived notion of what it is. They're thinking the automated attendant, you know, for sales, press 1. No. So this is a voice agent in training. I was given the client's permission. This is not a live bot. This was specifically for the purpose of these kind of demonstrations and actually at Retail Now where they were. So it's on testing servers and I'm the one testing this one. Ready? Here we go.
Thank you for calling merchantservice.com. I am AI agent John Walker. How can I help you?
Yes, it's DoorDash.
Sorry, we are on DoorDash. Quick question for you first, then I will try to look up DoorDash merchant support. Are you a restaurant owner or manager?
Yes, I am.
Gotcha. While we are on DoorDash, we do help a lot of restaurants increase their sales by 30% and decrease costs over $500 a month. We do this with AI restaurant marketing and reducing credit card processing fees, often to zero. Would that be something you would like to learn more about?
Yes, absolutely.
Great. Would you like to book a call with one of our experts, or would you prefer to give you what I found on how to contact DoorDash merchant support first?
DoorDash merchant support, please.
No problem. As far as I've been able to research these numbers to call for DoorDash merchant support is 855222811. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Great. Should we book you that call with one of our experts then?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Huh. That was a very simple bot. Now that was restaurant specific, but I bet everyone can think in their mind right now of a situation where that would help one of your customers, right? And it's just that fluid. So in this case, this particular merchant service company got a ton of calls that were nuisance calls, or DoorDash. They've been around for 28 years. And when I showed that they could start converting them, so we're now actually building out their bot to convert all of that nuisance stuff into sales. So if you have a bunch of incoming calls that are driving you crazy, you can build a bot to divert them into not driving you crazy, but making you money, right? And of course, that stops from going through to your salespeople that are already doing important things. So differences, again, it was natural conversation. The skips and the gaps were because of the actual connection and the recording of it. They don't happen in the real world like that. And it can handle complex questions. So you don't sort of have to stick to a script. That's sort of the cool part about bots. You train them and you let them wild. And then you get reporting back on what to do with them. It can convert nuisance calls into potential customers. So will voice agents frustrate your customers? If you build them wrong, absolutely. So the way we suggest it is, what if you were doing a voice agent and you had somebody call and the first thing it said was, hey, I'm Dennis Wilson, AI agent for RMH. Hey, at any time, if you'd like to talk to a live person, just let me know and I'll put you through. And of course, what's most of your people going to say the first time? Absolutely, give me a live agent. So then you go, hey, no problem. I just checked the queue. It's about a 6-minute wait. Would you like to talk to me while you're waiting, or do you really want to go through to human? And if they say, I really want to go through to the human, oh, you're in luck. I just checked. There's one available, and put them right through. If you do that, our experience has been that that person will never try to talk to one of your humans again until the bot can't help them. But because you gave them the choice, they learned about the bot and they became to like the bot. If you would have just forced the bot, they would have hated you. They would have written bad reviews. I mean, people are mean. Oh, and they get mean to the robot. That's hilarious. So I program the robots that if they get mean with the robot, I get a little cheeky with, oh, I'm sorry, I must have offended you. Would you like to go through to a normal human? And most of them settle right down and go, well, that's not going to be any better. No, I'll talk to you. So be upfront and give options. So how did I find out about voice agents? Well, this is crazy, okay? I found a voice agent tool. They went broke, but anyways, I found a voice agent tool. And I played with it a little bit, and I'm like, that's cool, really cool, like really, really cool. And out of the blue, at about 8:20 at night, which I thought was odd, I get a call, and I pick up the phone, and it's someone saying, hey, you're playing with our tool. Yeah, I am, fantastic. I talked for 40 minutes. At 30 minutes, I figured out it was AI. And I had made a decision to spend $22,800 to buy an agency license. Then it got funnier. Then I ended up with a real guy, the real guy. I didn't believe it for a second. Man, I gave that real human the gears because I thought it was AI. Anyways, so let's do another example. So again, this is a restaurant, and I didn't have enough knowledge, I'll be straight up, about retail to really dial it in. So I think you'll be able to see. In this case, we're helping a POS customer with doing modifiers. In the restaurant world, do you want extra ketchup? Do you want cheese? Do you want whatever? It's a very complicated thing, and it's the bane of existence of every restaurant POS company when it comes to teaching their customers how to use it. So I betcha there's something in RMH that's the bane of your existence when people call and ask for help with that. So imagine that this is solving that problem. Again, it's client give permission, it's testing servers, and I'm testing.
Thank you for calling Order Counter. I'm AI agent Martin Jones speaking. How can I help you?
Yeah, I'm trying to set up some speed mods for a burger, and I'm just getting a little bit confused on that.
I'd be happy to help you with that. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you're trying to accomplish with the speed mods for your burger? Are you looking to add specific toppings or modifiers, or is there something else you're trying to achieve?
Yeah, I'm just trying to add some toppings and modifiers, standard stuff that would come up with burger, lettuce, tomato, bacon, things like that.
So have you already created the burger menu item in your Order Counter system, or do you need help with that part as well?
No, I already set up the burger modifier item, and I'm just looking to set up the speed mods for the burger.
Now that we've got the burger menu item set up, let's talk about implementing speed mods to make ordering easier and faster for your customers.
Could you kind of just walk me through it step by step?
I'd be happy to guide you through the process of setting up speed mods for your burger modifiers. Let's get started. To create a standalone modifier, you'll need to access the control panel. Can you navigate to the control panel in your Order Counter system?
Yes, I'm there.
Now click on the menu tab and select modifiers from the drop-down menu. This will take you to the modifiers page, where you can create and manage your modifiers. Do you see the Add Modifier button on that page?
Right? So that was just from their knowledge base. All I did was feed it a bunch of articles. Yes?
I have a question. Can you put gates around this thing? So like, for example, if we've got in our knowledge base that, in a printer goes haywire, you've got to flip the dip switches or whatever. But we don't want the AI to tell the customer to do that. That's more like an internal note for us.
Yeah.
Can you protect the AI from giving that?
Yeah, so the latest way of doing everything is something called RagBots. And a RagBot is retrieval augmented generation. So it's not actually just going to chat. So the answer is, if you're just using an old-fashioned AI chatbot, it's the old-fashioned AI chatbot, they're only a year old to begin with. But anyway, if you're using one as of the technology from about 3 months ago, which is RagBot technology, you're actually feeding it your knowledge base, and the guardrails are very, very sticky already. So, and then the rest of that would come down to the design of your bot. So we're doing bots where we have the public version, right? And then we actually have the internal private version reading from different pieces of data, and it'll never jump the rails. So yes, in today's world, the answer is yes. In the old-fashioned ones, it was maybe if you're creative enough to really put the guardrails on yourself, because ChatGPT lies. We said that already, didn't we? Yeah. So the difference is natural conversation, step-by-step instruction. Oh, the other thing about this knowledge base is it had one line of text and then an image. So when it was telling you need to click this and do that, I actually had to take the image and convert that image to a description of what was going on in it, also through chat. And then I combined the two together, and it now has, so it was literally, I've seen it where it says, okay, you see the logo to the top left? 3 clicks over, you're gonna find something that says help, click that. And that was because it interpreted the image and turned that into the data for the database. And notice also in that it waited for the customer. I want you to do this. It actually was waiting for the response to say I did it. And if Matt wouldn't have responded, it would have actually pushed him to say, hey, are you okay? Have you done that yet? Right? So it's very human-like. No, it's not, because it doesn't get hungover, it doesn't get grumpy, it doesn't get frustrated. So it's very unlike a human. So voice agents are here to stay, and they're only going to get better. And it's funny, because I wrote this slide 6 months ago, and since then I've had to rebuild our bots 3 times, because the technology changed so dramatically that it became, when we started, a voice agent was 45 cents a minute to use, so about 27 bucks an hour. Still not bad compared to a human, and now it's down to 20 cents, all because the way the systems have changed. So consider bundling your products and services with AI chatbots and voice agents. Jim Roddy with RSPA, he's going to speak a little bit later, and he's going to talk more about bundling. But this is some really logical stuff to do, right? From a super simple one right to a full, mega implementation. It's possible to have chatbots as part of what you do to create better value for your customers. So more complex AI opportunities for VARs, customer sentiment analysis. Developers are required for this one. So I'm going to go through some stuff where if you have a development team, great. If you don't have a development team, it's just trying to open your eyes to all the places where chat can be used. External tools, you're going to need Monkey Learn, Alexa Linux. Predictive inventory management. How good would that be, right? Developers are required. External tools, IBM, Watson, and Azure can be really helpful in that. Build to meet your needs and then resell solutions to your customer. The best thing you can do is figure out stuff that helps you and then figure out if your customers need it too. And then you just start reselling that thing that you built or break it out to a component. More complex AI opportunities for ISVs. Code generation and completion. If your developers aren't using AI, I recommend you do what I did and you say, if you don't start using AI, you're fired, because they will be 40% more efficient. They're going to argue like crazy, but I can tell you, once my people had the fear of being fired, in a gentle way, not in a mean way, but I would have fired them. You're literally going to see them about 40% more efficient. It's absolutely insane. So prompts, in this case, code generation just to be done with ChatGPT and prompts, or you could use GitHub Copilot, and that'll get you 80% of the way there. If they go beyond that with chat, they'll actually be able to do even more. Code review and bug detection. Again, developers and external tuners like Deepcode or Sync. Chatbots, text-based, developers and chat API can do it. Now you want to get more into RagBots, and the technology's changed where just going that way will cost you a lot, and it will go off script a few times, and you may get a little bit of upsetness from your customers. We never got a lot of it because it was still better than a human, because humans go off script. Humans say stuff that isn't true because they're doing their best, and it's in the passion of the moment of marketing content, prompts only. This is, again, one of the low-hanging fruit, easiest places. You can start doing marketing that you never used to do because it's very easy to do. You don't need a big agency anymore. You can do a lot of the simple stuff yourself. And then bug tracking and issue resolution. And again, developers with external tools like Rollbar, Sentry, Jira, and Trello. So I had the programming epiphany. It was just like a complete lightning bolt to the side of the head as we were teaching a chatbot how to take an order for a restaurant by voice. And of course, anybody, raise your hand if you actually do developing or have developers so you understand the struggle. Yeah, okay, good. So you're gonna like this. So my guys were trying to figure out how to make SQL deal with, yeah, I'd like a Big Mac, a large fries, and a Coke. Oh, actually, no, maybe make that a Sprite. Oh, can I get some extra pickles on the Big Mac? Oh, wait, McChicken. You know what, I'm gonna have a McChicken instead of a Big Mac. And I think, did I say large fries? And you try to get SQL to pull that apart. Yeah. So I'm like, well, wait a second. I wonder what happens if we grab the transcript of the conversation in line and we fire off to the API the transcript of the whole conversation and say, what the heck did this guy order? 98% accurate response of exactly what he ordered. Oh. So, chat used inline to coding can solve problems that would take you guys 20, 50, 100 hours and solve that problem in a repeatable way in literally minutes. So if your guys aren't using it, your girls aren't using it, suggest to them that it's time to have a talk with Dennis and they can phone me. I will convince them for you. So summary of AI uses in retail, chatbots, voice agents, marketing content, SEO, predictive analytics, auto email response, auto social media response, video scripts, big data analysis, inventory management, dynamic pricing, dynamic menus, code debugging, visual search, translation, legal contracts, supply chain optimization. Oh, I made it. How do I do for time? Do we have time for questions or we're good? 5 minutes? Cool. So I'm Dennis Wilson. I give my number out to everyone. That is my personal cell number. If your team needs help for adopting AI, if you're building a chatbot and you're struggling, if you just want to say, hey man, help me, phone me. I do this every time I speak, and I think I've had 2 phone calls, yeah. So DBC Technologies, so at this point, we have a few minutes left, so anybody have any questions that I could help with?
I called and I got an AI.
What's that?
I called and I got an AI.
Oh, did you? Yeah, cool. Just ignore it. It's lying to you. Nothing? Then I guess I did my job well. Oh, go ahead. Oh no, I'm not actually here. All right. Thank you very much.
All right, we got another round of sponsor speed intros. Richard from RMHI Close up first, and then we've got Mitch from Evolution, Joshua from Epson, and Mike from WebCell.
Is it off? Did you kill it? Yeah, it's on the podium.